This is the Holy Smoking Pipe Padre podcast with Echo Bravo and me, Holy Smoking Pipe Padre. Good evening, Echo. Good evening. Well, hello there, Pipe Pals. Hope you're doing well this evening. Holy Smoking Pipe Padre, back at you with another special holiday video. Well, tonight, I thought I would go ahead and make my day in the month of December video. And tonight, as I was preparing, just to put some comments together, and, I've been kind of realizing that a lot of my videos, have have kind of a certain style to them. And so thought I'd try something just a little bit different here in the podcast mode. And tonight I am smoking. As I was kind of going through the old closet there, I found, what happened there? I found this beautiful K. Woody, which many of you have seen before. From 1945, I believe. And here's I'll show you the box here. 1945 box. I bought this, I believe, at the Briar Patch. Back when they had a Briar Patch in Arden Fair Mall. And this was an unused, still in the original box, sort of like an M1 Grand, kind of has that kind of period, kind of I really like this box. It's just a real basic, you can just tell it's from the 1940s. I just love it. But anyway, this was, I guess this was part of somebody's estate, but that had never been smoked, and it had never been smoked. I need to get a little something for my little sore throat that's developing. Some spiced tea. It's not Jocko Willick tea, but it is Father Francis tea, which is just as good. Yeah. But anyway, this pipe was had not been smoked. And even though the box was certainly showing its age, 1940s period. I don't think I actually smoked this pipe for about a year or two. I think I just held on to it. I know that when I kind of got back into the fraternity of pipe smokers, thanks to old My Monk vlog Tom, and then becoming acquainted with the YouTube pipe community. I was kind of excited about it. I kind of got a little bit of a pipe acquisition disorder, and kind of started, getting back into the hobby and kind of discovering new things. And one of those was estate pipes and tin tobaccos, fine quality pipe tobaccos, like I am smoking tonight. I'm smoking some W.O. Larson. And although I have to say that this tin probably is several years old, it's still, W.O. Larson, to me, it reminds me of, say, Sweden in Christmas, in wintertime, Don't know what it is about W.O. Larson, but it just has that Christmassy, wintry ambiance. I just love this. And I love the tin. I love a lot of the tin tobaccos. This is such a beautiful tin of tobacco, but it kind of likes a dark winter night, and I just love it. So, and the thing I like about W.O. Larson is because it actually kind of has a Christmassy flavor to it. It's not like J.M. Boswell Christmas cookie or rum spice or any of those kind of holiday pipe flavors, but it does smells like fruitcake, kind of tastes like fruitcake. I mean, in its own tobacco-y kind of a way. And I was able to find my Dunhill, my wonderful little Dunhill lighter. And I just love this little guy. And I put a new flint in it about, a couple of months back, I think. But anyway, W.O. Larson, it's a really wonderful aromatic. Again, I have a wide spectrum of pipe tobaccos that I enjoy, all the way from a very stout English all the way to probably a very floral, aromatic. So there you go. Very eclectic in my pipe tobacco tastes. I even like and permit myself a little bit of half and half or Carter Hall from time to time. Haven't had that in a long time though, but half and half I think was a pretty good little pipe tobacco. Anyway, so here I am. I'm going to have to wash this tablecloth. This was a gift of a nice dear lady up here in the Loch Tahoe. I like to say Loch Tahoe. But anyway, it's a beautiful tablecloth, but I need to take better care of it. But it's got a little, it probably needs maybe a good little Christmas washing would be nice. Yeah. Okay, so here we are. And I was just looking at my YouTube, my other YouTube, for this channel here, the Holy Smoking Pipe Padre channel, and I want to thank all those people who sent me well wishes. One guy said, "I can't wait for your Christmas video. I look forward to it every year." And I'm going, well, I don't know if I make a Christmas video every year. I'll have to check that out. I don't know if I know I kind of do a little bit of a Halloween video when I can, playing around with different movie genres sometimes. So I like having fun with that. Christmas video per se, I don't know if I... Echo, do I make a Christmas video every year?
Yeah. You make a Christmas video every year, I think.
Anyway. So anyway, here we are. It's a beautiful winter evening here in Lake Tahoe. And I've had a very long day today. And I'm feeling really pretty good. I mean, I'm starting to feel a little bit sore. I'm starting to feel a little tired. The other morning I got up at 3:30 and I just was excited about getting up and getting to work. Today was my quote unquote day off, but I just had a lot of projects to do. I made my other video pretty much yesterday and today and uploaded it today. So that's ready to go for the weekend. So here it is Tuesday, so I'm all done with that. We have a communal penance service on Saturday, and I'm going to be, I needed to put together put together a penance service program, and I got that pretty much done. I'm going to try and finesse it just a little bit. There's some little flourishes that I'd like to do. But I need to probably download a copy of Adobe Illustrator so I can get some vector images. But other than that, it's going to be pretty nice. Simple, nice, understated elegance, really nice. Let's see. The last couple of months, being up here, the altitude, we're at 6,230 some odd feet, I guess it is, give or take a few, 100 feet, I guess. But anyway, I got to say that the air up here is really, really good. And so for the last four and a half months that I've been here since July 1. So maybe 5 months, going on 5 months. And, I've been physically, as most of you know, my back went out my last full year at Our Divine Savior. And I was just talking to somebody about that today, and I have no idea what happened. It might have been a result of a shingles vaccine. Again, I don't want to scare people away from vaccines. I know there's a big controversy about vaccines. I'm not here to get into that at all. But I know that I had something going on. And so, as most of you know, it just was it kind of was a little bit of a real step backwards for me when it came to my health and fitness program. That pretty much took a dive. And for the last year and a half, I've just been off and on again, trying to, do a little bit of exercise or trying to do this or trying to do that. And I just can't seem to get back into it. And but lately, in the last couple of weeks, I've kind of felt that this would be the time. This is the window of opportunity to really try and get back on that old fitness, exercise, diet, whatever, transformation kind of a thing. Because if I can do it here, I can do it anywhere, just about. And with the snow on the ground and having to kind of relearn how to navigate, just simple basic things with the snow. It's been kind of a challenge, but it's also been something where I've kind of, I don't know what it is, but there's something inside of me that's kind of like saying, it's time to do this. It's time to lose the weight again and to start getting back in shape again. Because I've just been really afraid that I was going to hurt my back again. I don't know why that is, but I've heard a lot of people who come out of a long period of like whether it's sciatica or slip disc or whatever it is, it just got this fear that, man, I just don't want to do anything that's going to injure my back. And so, I live in another altitude now. I live in a house that has 3 flights of stairs, from the very top all the way down to the very bottom basement. I walk probably 20 flights of stairs a day. And like I said, about the last week, there's been something that's just been kind of like, okay, it's now time. This is now the time. So a couple of days ago, I hadn't been doing any exercises or calisthenics at all. I could feel a lot of pain and soreness, and I said, I don't understand this. And then all of a sudden I realized, well, a lot of the pain and soreness that I felt, about 5 years ago, or almost 6 years ago now, when I did that transformation, and I really got 7 years ago, actually, 6.5, 7 years ago, and some change, I remember, feeling just horrible. And then I decided, okay, I'm going to start walking every day. I'm going to make a commitment to doing that, and I'm going to not only do that, but I'm going to, as I get stronger, I'm going to extend that. Now I can't, like I was doing at the height of my exercise routine the last, several years ago. I was doing 6 miles a day easily, sometimes even 10 miles a day. Now I can't do that, but I can do starting out. And I remember I said, you didn't start out walking 6, 8, and 10 miles a day. There's no way. I started out walking a half a mile one way, and I walked another half a mile back. So that's a mile. So the last few days I said, you know what? It's snow. It's a challenge. Not only do I have the snow to contend with, I don't have level, like I had a nice park there in Elk Grove where I was doing all these exercising and this transformation thing. And things were pretty much, it was flatlander land, for the most part. And but now I've got some elevation to my walks. It's not super steep, but it's not flat and level. There's a lot of hills. So I'm thinking, I'm probably going to do a whole lot better. So, and then the other thing is I decided that I was going to try to, start the calisthenics again with the pull-ups and the push-ups and the squats and just your basic exercises. And I said, and when I started that, I think I could barely do 1 or 2. And I would just, keep every day just trying to do, eke out a little bit more. So, I have to say that I'm sore, but it's a kind of that good sore, it's that, okay, I started kind of using the whole body again. And, hopefully maybe in a month or 2, I can start putting videos of me actually pumping out a few chin-ups or pull-ups and doing like I used to do, that TSC challenge. And maybe we'll see in the spring. We'll see where things are. But I'm going to make a commitment to do that. And one of the things that I have unfortunately done is I've given into the carbohydrates and all the goodies. And so, I just think it's time. I just have that deep sense of my psyche and my spirit that it's just time to do this transformation thing again and get healthy, because I feel pretty good, even though I had the bad back and some other things. I'm starting to feel pretty good. And I know that when you get over that hump, you begin to feel that difference, that change. It's like, oh, I don't hurt like I used to. Because when you're doing the exercises on a daily basis, all the little aches and pains, and when you combine that with your diet, the aches and pains begin to go away, at least in your body, your body. Plus, old pipe pals, let me just tell you one other thing. This is a crazy one too. But I've been taking, for the last 70 plus days, is it 70 days? At least 70 days, give or take, actually it's a little bit over than 70 days because I started 2 days before October. But about 2 years ago, I started this cold shower challenge. And before I hurt my back, that is. And then, so I did 30 days. And, it was an accomplishment. But I actually extended that every day now, and sometimes even twice a day. especially after I do the exercises, because I do feel sore. And I think they say really cold water or an ice bath really helps to heal your muscles. So I've been doing the cold shower thing for the last 70 plus days, and I think I'm going to keep it up for a year. It's not so much a challenge anymore. It's just a day of it's getting to be more of a routine. And I think the cold water just seems to have some kind of a health benefit, that it's not just, I can stand in cold water for, so many minutes, and I'm a macho man. No, I think there's some real healing properties that the cold water does. I don't know what it is, but I can certainly feel a difference. It's been 70 days now, but sometimes there's been 2 days where I kind of prolonged the cold shower, maybe took it in the afternoon. But I can kind of feel that when I don't do it early in the morning, and yes, I get up early in the morning, 6:30, and I turn the water on cold. Now there are two different ways you can do it if you're interested in doing this. There's an easier way to do it, and I've done it a couple times this way, which is okay. It's not quite as invigorating, I'll say, but you could start off with a hot shower, your warm shower, and do all your business, whatever you do, whether you shampoo your hair, and I shave in the shower and all that good stuff. Probably too much information for some of you, but anyway. But anyway, so what I do then is I'll just turn the water over to cold, and it just quickly gets cold, and you stand in that for however long you want to, and then you get out. But you finish with a cold shower. That's to be honest with you, that's pretty easy for me. That's not a problem. But the one that really takes a little bit of fortitude is, you get up early in the morning, you turn the water on to cold, and you just step into it. You set your timer, you just step into it, and I turn myself around several times and get soaking wet, and but once the water goes off and I start to towel off, man, I tell you, I don't know what it is, but I sure feel really, really good, and it just kind of helps me it helps me to face my day. I don't know what it is, but it just really helps me to face my day. So been doing that. So I know a lot of you have watched me kind of go through the ups and downs of weight loss and weight gain and weight loss again. But I'm very confident that I think it's going to happen again. I'm going to make it happen. But I'm not doing it. I'm not going to kill myself doing this. Again, I'm starting off very, very small, a few reps, repetitions, and then 3 or 4 cycles, whatever, and then I started out, and what I'm doing is I'm starting out exactly the way I remember doing it 6 years ago. So there you have it. Oh, my pipe went down again. Get a little tea here. Yep, the Holy Smokin' Pipe Padre podcast. The Holy Smokin' Pipe Padre, or could you say Holy Smokin' Pipe podcast? There you go. Actually, I have been watching a guy named Jocko Willink. Yeah, Willink. And his podcasts are pretty intense, and they're very, very, I hate to use the word entertaining, because that seems a little, it kind of cheapens it, but he has some very amazing guests. He has some people in there that, of course, he's a big Jordan B. Peterson follower, kind of like I am. And but today I was on my walk, and as I was going down the road, I was just listening to the podcast about I think it was called, what was it called? Was it called Cannibal Island? I know it's a pretty intense intro to that video. And basically, he's just talking about, and again, I think we all need to know this, the horrors of communism. And a lot of young people today just have no clue. All they hear is free stuff, free education, free healthcare, free government job. There was that one candidate on the Democratic side, he was promising to give people a free $1,000 every month. Folks, there's nothing free in this world. There's nothing free in this world. People might give you free stuff, but it will cost you something. And I think what it will cost you is your freedom, and in some cases, even your life. If you can just find yourself to at least learn a little bit and read a little bit of Alexander Solzhenitsyn and what it was like in the gulags. And the people that made it to the gulags were the lucky ones. And that all depends. They may not have been the lucky ones because they were living a living hell. But anyway, so I've been listening to Jocko Willink, or Wilnick, or however you pronounce his name, former Navy SEAL. But he's very motivating. And again, that's kind of a cheapened word. It's kind of an overused word. But he is that and more. He has a lot of good life experience stuff that you can kind of maybe, put it in your pipe and smoke it from time to time. There's a difference between putting it in your pipe and smoking it and drinking the Kool-Aid. And I think he's kind of a guy who has a lot of sober, hard life lessons learned type of the thing. And, he's probably not maybe I'm sure he's probably a very nice, pleasant person in real life. If you meet him, I don't know. But he's kind of a no-nonsense kind of a guy, and I've known a lot of those kinds of people. But a lot of them are just really good people. Anyway, so that's one of the things I've also been kind of into the last couple of weeks. Actually, I've been the last several months, I've kind of off and on again see a podcast of his, especially with it was Dr. Jordan Peterson or somebody like that. But so anyway, the new year is coming up. I'm making my day in December video. Let me get a little tea here. So I'm excited about the future. There's a lot of I think good programs. We have some projects, I should say, going on here at this little parish, and I'm kind of excited to see some improvements that I can hopefully, with some help of some other people with me, we can together make it better. That's my little motto. Together we can make it better. And we're going to hopefully put on a new roof and fix our handicap access, because it's not accessible at all. I call it the gangplank. It's almost like it's a joke. I mean, there's just no way a person who's in a walker or a cane or a wheelchair can get through that thing. It's like an obstacle course. Maybe now come to think of it, maybe the last few pastors felt like, hey, you people that are kind of handicapped, got some issues with that. Maybe you need to get stronger and face a challenge. So when you come to church, you're going to have to go through this obstacle course to get to church, to show your dedication. I don't know. I don't know. But anyway, so we're hoping to fix that so it actually is a handicap access instead of a gangplank as it is now. So anyway, and just kind of really trying to really be grateful. Always be grateful for what you have, what you don't, even what you think sometimes it's it's like living up here in this beautiful part of the world is absolutely breathtaking. This morning I went out and had a nice breakfast, and then I stopped, and I was going to get my truck, and there's beautiful Lake Tahoe, literally just right there. And you drive by it every day. I drive around the lake all the time, and I don't ever want to lose the beauty of being here. Sometimes that happens. You just kind of it just becomes something you don't see. And unfortunately, a lot of us, that's kind of our life. We kind of go through it with blinkers on, and sometimes we just got to stop. And so this morning I was about to get in my truck, and I said, "Wait a minute, what are you doing?" I said, this is a gorgeous morning. Why don't you walk over and just look at the lake, just at least look at it, kind of look at the beauty and just appreciate it. Take a time to do that. Don't just, So I had a lot of stuff to do today, and I feel really good about accomplishing quite a bit of stuff. So, that's what I like to do. I like to be active. I spent too many years being very inactive and being kind of a person who, because of my drinking, I would be kind of hiding in my room, and the windows would be closed and the blinds would be drawn, and I didn't want anybody to see me, and I didn't want to see anybody. And, that was a long time ago, thanks be to God. But, sometimes when you're hurt or you're sick, no fault of your own, you kind of have that same, you can degenerate into that kind of a same mindset. And as long as I can walk, what a blessing it is to walk, being able to move. And so, it's my responsibility to take care of what I have, for as long as I have it. And I noticed the one thing, the last few days that I've started, actually working out again. And, like I said earlier, it's sore, little DOMs setting in probably tonight. I'm going, oh, wow, I'm starting to feel that. But I do notice that, instead of being all crippled up because of atrophy, when you start engaging your muscles again, then you're no longer in atrophy, you're in hypertrophy, Instead of muscles, getting weaker and diminishing, they begin to respond. Eventually, they respond to the stimulus of exercise, and they get stronger and healthier, and all of a sudden you're be able to do things that you couldn't do before. And I remembered that joy that one morning after I'd say about 3 weeks. It was about 3 weeks, and oh man, I was having sore lower back, and this is before my back went out, but I had a sore lower back and everything hurt. I'd get up in the morning and I felt, this was the thing, I wasn't out partying or drinking or anything like that. I just went to bed and I just felt terrible. And I started thinking, why do I feel so bad? And so after I started this little bit of a workout thing, and we had a guy who was a triathlete in my 2 parishes ago, and he was 62 then, maybe 63, and he looked like he was 38. And he was amazing, and he said, "Yeah, I'll help you out. I'll give you some. I'll tell you some calisthenics and things that you can do, and I think you're going to do good." And within about 3 weeks, I remember thinking to myself, "Wow, I feel great." I remember one morning, I literally sprang out of bed, instead of feeling like an old man like I am, and oh, it hurts so bad. Oh. I literally I just boing, and I was like on my feet and standing straight up and, walking around and feeling great again. So I noticed tonight after I did some exercises, I said, okay, the last couple of days it hurt really bad. Tonight I was able to get down and do the push-ups and the squats, and, there's some soreness, but it's not like, but I feel all locked up. I didn't feel all locked up tonight. So I'm like going, man, this is good. I'm starting to respond, So anyway, so the New Year's coming up is upon us within a few more weeks. I'm kind of anticipating, New Year's, and kind of thinking about, the new year, because this is that time of year when you get all the end of the year retrospectives. Right after Christmas, It starts all New Year's, so it's all New Year's all the time. By the way, I think they have a polar bear swim too, so maybe I'll even do that. I don't know. So, but anyway, there's just, I just feel pretty positive about starting again at 2020. I don't want to get into politics right now, but I do want to say that it just it boggles my mind that we live in such a divided country, and people are just so kind of motivated by hate. They hate either they hate Trump or they hate people that have a different opinion than they do. They want to, they want to completely change our way of life here. Some people do, not everybody, but certainly there's a growing group of people that really want to kind of just tear down the America that I certainly grew up in. And I don't know what they're thinking. To reorganize a society, again, if people just read history. Unfortunately, what the way they're going about it is they're trying to destroy the current society that we live in, but they haven't given any thought to what they're going to remake it into, other than socialist communist. And again, we've talked about that, and there's not a whole lot that you really, there's not a whole lot to recommend those philosophies. And unfortunately, there's just too many people that, again, they don't know history. They haven't been taught history. They've been indoctrinated into kind of this, hate America first, hate America last. And, I'm grateful that I live in this wonderful country. I'm grateful that, we have freedom, life isn't easy. Nothing in life is really easy. I mean, that's something that I learned as a kid. And, if you want something, you need to apply yourself. I didn't grow up in a very affluent home. I grew up in probably a very low socioeconomic home. And by the time I was starting to realize, well, if I want something, then I'm going to have to go out and work for it. And I started little odd jobs around the neighborhood, mowing lawns and pulling weeds and all that kind of stuff. And then later I got a paper route, and then, it just kind of, you begin to realize that, hey, you can, if you're willing to work hard and apply yourself, you can kind of, I wouldn't say you can, you can write your own story, and it can be a success story. You may not be a billionaire or a millionaire, it doesn't matter, but you can at least, I think if you're willing to put in the hard work, and it takes discipline, again, good old Jocko Willnick, very interesting today, discipline is hard. It's just hard. People don't like discipline, but the problem is if you don't, again, you got to play the long game. That's what you got to look at. You got to play the long game. Now, there's immediate gratification, which most people love. Hey, I love, a piece of pumpkin pie. There's a pumpkin pie in my refrigerator, and I'm thinking, you know what? As much as I love pumpkin pie, I've already had enough for the season. And I can find some substitutes that kind of mimic pumpkin pie flavors, and they're not bad for me. They don't have sugar and they don't have high carbohydrates. And I can still kind of get that flavor, and I can kind of get that little pumpkin pie fix. So that's all good. But I don't need to be eating pumpkin pies or berry pies or cherry pies or apple pies or, they're all good. And there gets to be a point where you can say, you know what, I've enjoyed that before, And I'm grateful that I had that. And maybe someday again, maybe I'll have a little piece later on, But right now, I really need to, play the long game. And so when I embraced the discipline of like cold showers and saying no to sweets, because I'm a sweetaholic, and the fast food stuff, all those goodies, when I do that, and I have been able to do that successfully for a number of years, I remember that the benefits that I gleaned or I gained from that were a lot better than just being able to have some immediate gratification, okay? And, again, the discipline itself, it's its own gift. And unfortunately, young people don't understand that. They just don't understand that. It's like, how do we connect with them to show them that sometimes it's better to say no so you don't get fat or diabetes or alcoholism or whatever it is, pancreatitis, all these things that come from, destructive lifestyles. How do we teach them that, hey, there's a great benefit, and but it's not an immediate benefit. I guess that's the thing. But if you embrace it, and again, just like, after a few weeks of exercise, you begin to see, hey, I've lost a few pounds. Hey, I feel better. Hey, my blood sugar is going down. Those are all good things. You know what I'm saying? They're intangible things. You can't touch them or see them really. I mean, you can monitor them and you can record them, of course, but they only come about by simply saying no to the easy and yes to the discipline. And so, that's one of the beautiful things about kind of being a Catholic Christian, is that we have that built into our DNA through the teaching of the church, the scriptures, but unfortunately, we're seeing the hierarchies trying to say, forget it. You can't be like that. Like Amazon Senate was saying, well, those people in the Amazon, they don't understand celibacy. Well, the Western world doesn't understand celibacy. So what? The modern world hasn't. It's like, okay, so what? It doesn't matter. It's like, like, I don't understand taking cold showers. Well, have you given it a try? Because there are benefits, but you have to be willing to embrace it. And I'm not saying go out and suffer or punish yourself. Again, sometimes people think, well, you're just into masochism, No. Masochism is destructive. That's just pain for pain's sake. I don't know how people do that. But these are like growing pains that help you to become better and stronger when you embrace them. And it doesn't take a lot. It just takes a little bit, day by day, to do those kinds of things. And you will see benefits. You will begin to see benefits in the long run. Again, you got to play the long game. So looking towards 2020, it's sort of like, let's play the long game. Let's gradually get better and stronger and healthier, whether it's in intellectually, physically, spiritually, because you can grow on all those planes. They all have different things that you can do to do better, to get better. And so that's what I'm looking forward to. I'm excited about 2020. And I hope you are too. I hope that you are too, because I do believe that things can get better if we try. And again, maybe you have some limitations. We all have limitations. But you can ask yourself, well, what can I do? What could I do to maybe make my life just a little bit better for tomorrow? Again, it's not the instant gratification. If you're going to think, well, I want to feel better right this moment, I'm going to do this. Well, unfortunately, the instant gratification route is, yeah, you can do it right here and now, and man, you're going to feel great for about maybe 10, 15, 20 seconds or minutes or whatever it is, and then you're going to feel terrible. You're going to gain extra weight like I have. You're going to regret it. You're going to rue the day that you played the short game. You went for the easy out. So anyway, I don't know if you got anything out of that on this video. This has been my Christmas video. Ho, 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 ho. Merry Christmas. Okay. Okay, so, there you go. A little bit of ho, ho, ho there. A little bit of Merry Christmas, Happy Christmas. Okay. So God bless you all. I hope you're having a good winter so far. I guess it's, it's not even winter time now. It's still fall, technically. I guess we crossed the old, the solstice, on the 21st, I guess, December 21st, we have a winter. So there you go. We'll have a little winter solstice, and soon we'll have Christmas, and then New Year's, and we're off to the races. So there you go. Well, thanks for watching. I really appreciate it, and thanks for all the comments. Had a lot of nice comments on the last video, and also the video on where I shared about my little cat Betty. I've had 2 little kitty cats that have gone to kitty cat heaven, I'm afraid, and I sure miss those little cats. One, the one that I brought with me, Elsie, who I had for almost 3 years. Sweet cat in her own way. She was different. She was kind of more of an independent cat, but she was a good cat, and she was fun. I had a lot of fun with her, and she was a good little companion, no doubt. But she really loved going outside. She was just an outdoor cat. And back in Chico, it was safe. She had a backyard. She could, she had boundaries. She had physical boundaries. She couldn't really go very far. Now, she could have gone out in the street, unfortunately, but she never did do that. She was smart enough to realize, I don't want to go out in the street, so that was a good thing. But she had a backyard. She had pretty good boundaries. But up here, when I brought her up here to the mountains, I don't know what happened, but she just got this wild streak. I mean, she loved going outside. And it was like, oh, I don't have a backyard anymore. I have a back forest. And she just really enjoyed, being a little mountain lion, mini mountain lion. Boy. But I don't know what happened. I just don't know. She just didn't come home one night, and that was the end of it. And then this other little kitty cat that I got, which is a little kitten, sweetest cat I think I've ever had, little Betty. I mean, that little cat that cat chose me. And I thought, well, this is the cat for me. But unfortunately, I think she had what was called either calicivirus or coronavirus, which unfortunately later got infected her nervous system. And anyway, she got really, really sick. And both of the vets that I saw said, Mister, this is a real sick little cat, and it's probably not going to get any better. And so one morning when I found her pretty sick, it was one of those, I hate, this is the second time I had to put an animal down, and I just hated doing it. But there's really nothing more I could do, and even the vet said, this cat's, in fact, when we took her to the vet, she kind of curled up. Most animals, dogs and cats, they want to get out of that vet's office as soon as they can. And she actually curled up in a little ball and just kind of like almost, I wouldn't say gave up right then and there, but I've never seen an animal do that. Usually they're like, get me out of here, And she just kind of looked up at me and curled up in a little ball and kind of let out a big, deep sigh and just kind of put her head down and like, okay, I think this, it was sad. Real sad. But anyway. Okay, so I didn't mean to close on a sad note, but hey, 2020 is right around the corner, so what are you going to make of it? What are we going to make of 2020, okay? Hopefully 2020 will be an excellent year for you and for me. God bless, happy Christmas, and light up your world. Probably need to do this again. And light up your pipe. See ya.